And now Albert will be talking about Wilderness Labs. Thanks.
All right. We've got 5 minutes, so we have to get started here. All right, minute zero. My name is Albert O'Connor. I live in Waterloo, and I spend my time creating Django-based websites. And this is a service people actually pay me for. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can talk to me after. All right. So a few years back, I was inspired by this excellent talk by Django co-creator Simon Wilson. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. If you Google Django Simon Cowboy, it should be the first hit, hopefully. So Simon wasn't talking about disruptive sort of team-destroying cowboys. Instead, it's more like it's more about rapid development and extreme collaboration. So in the UK, they created this organization called DevFort, where they would rent abandoned fortresses for a week and go there and create some awesome services. At the University of Waterloo, a group of 7 students did something somewhat similar, where they spent 7 days working on 7 different projects. So I kind of wanted to do something similar, but there's kind of a problem that we don't really have a lot of century-old fortresses in Canada, but we do have something else that's pretty awesome. That is the wilderness. And in the wilderness, cottages. Thanks to Free Cabin Porn for this picture. This is from Ontario. And so wilderness-labs.ca was born. All right, so there we go, first minute. So here are the ingredients to a Wilderness Labs weekend. It's people, the cottage, and the project. So one key thing I want to say about people is don't just bring developers. Developers are important, but you'll have a more interesting experience if you can include designers, domain experts, users, caterers. Food's kind of important. So for the cottage itself, we had Wi-Fi internet, but if you prepare a bit more, you actually can do it without internet. Picking an off-season time can definitely save you a bit of money, and it can still be good. And also trying to find a cottage big enough that has multiple workspaces will help you work on different things at the same time with different groups of people. Also, not all cottages are created the same, so try to pick one with an inspiring location. So for the project, picking the right size is a bit tricky. I definitely recommend the smaller the better. You only have a weekend or maybe a long weekend. So try to focus on doing one thing really well. Having a visual design in place beforehand can help you save some time, as does setting up everyone's laptops with the technologies you need and a skeleton project. Having sort of a default path of what you want to do prevents you from spinning your wheels early on, and you can always deviate from it as you start collaborating on the work. All right. So, minute 2. Last time we went, the result was a service called Rate My ISP. And Rate My ISP is a simple service that collects location-based ratings of internet service providers in Canada. And our goal is, hopefully, as we get more data, people can find the best sort of independent ISP that serves their area. So the technology that we used to sort of facilitate this process involved a laptop-based server that we actually have running over here, if you want to learn more about it afterwards. What it does is it provides a Wi-Fi development network, which we bridged with the Wi-Fi internet at the cottage, and it provides some key sort of internet-like services, so things you might get from internet services, including source control, copies of your dependencies and docs, a platform for integration testing, and chat and file sharing. And we also ran our own DNS, which is kind of fun, because you kind of have this separate world that you live in. All right, so in terms of, what we weren't sure about is that after spending a whole week working in your day job, how would it take going to a cottage and working on a different project all weekend. But in the end, we found out that it actually was a lot like camping and less like work. It took some prep, but we had fun doing it, and we felt refreshed. So we got to experiment with the creative process and collaboration, and also the culinary process. Some of the lessons we learned was in parallelization was important. So at first I was setting all the tasks myself, and that took away from my personal productivity. So we ended up with sort of a Kanban pillar approach where we would come up with tasks together and then put them on a pillar and people could choose their own adventure. Another problem with synchronization is that often we'd be waiting for someone to commit some code, and you'd be like the kid in the back of the car, you know, have you committed yet? Have you committed yet? And so we actually implemented a soothing ding sound whenever someone hit the repo, and so now you just had to wait for the sound, and this was also oddly satisfying. So here we go, last minute, quick kitten break. Okay, almost done. I'm taking a bit of a hiatus on the project to work on some other side projects, like WattPy, the Waterloo Python group, and an open data conference that we're planning for the spring. But Wilderness Labs is just an idea, and it's ripe for the taking. So overall, we thought it was an awesome experience, everyone who was involved, and we definitely recommend it. So if it's something you're interested in, you can certainly reach out and talk to us. We'll be happy to provide you any information you want, or you can even invite us along, and if we're available, we'll bring our laptop server. So thank you so much for listening, and hopefully you're inspired to go create something in the wilderness. Thank you.
Thanks, Albert. Do we have RAM in the room? No, we don't? Yes, we do. Excellent.